Welcome. You've splash landed into this Prosecco-laden podcast, straight into the woo-woo pool with the crew of Ohm-g. We're just a simple group of tragically imperfect and highly empathic BFFs, exploring a wide range of atypical topics with humor, grace, and curiosity. This is Ohm-g. Welcome, everybody. Today, our super special guest star is Jenny Schafer, author and astrologer extraordinaire. Let's pick her brain and see what the planets have in store for us. You're here with the crew.
Ohm-g, the podcast.
This is Camille.
This is Lynn.
This is Brenda.
And this is Chandra.
We're so glad you're here. Miss Jenny, would you like to just do a quick little bio/intro and let everyone know who they're dealing with today?
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much for having me, ladies. What a pleasure this is today to see your beautiful faces and be with you. Okay, who am I? What am I all about? I went the regular school route and I became a social worker and worked in the field, mostly in the field of disability for about 7 years. And then I had my first baby, and I recall this story so many times. I was holding him in my arms and I looked into his eyes and I said to myself, oh my God, I am burnt out. I had no idea. Not in touch with my emotions in my 20s, apparently, and 30s. So yeah, I worked hard. I was climbing that corporate ladder, if you will. I was the first able-bodied woman in my particular field, and they wanted to put me into management. I was going up, and I loved it. I was working as a counselor, basically, right? But something was seriously missing. So I did quit after the first baby. And ever since then, I've been following a route to get back to my astrology passion. I had no idea it was there. I would read it in the newspaper. Remember the newspapers?
Oh, yeah.
I would read newspapers like the Aries and, oh, that resonates. And then you'd go on with your day or whatever. But yeah, I was in counseling for years and years. And then I learned how to do online business after I quit and never went back, and became an online coach and a blogger. And I did all the online things. And now you find me here today. And astrology is definitely, I would call myself an intuitive astrologer, but I do so much more too. I do QHHT, past life regressions, and I write books. I'm a woman of many skills and talents.
Yes, you are.
And are you offering your QHHT and past life regressions like virtually as well?
I do. Dolores Cannon, the great late Dolores Cannon. Are you all familiar with her?
Yeah.
Yes.
All hail Dolores.
Oh my, I know. I have full body goosebumps right now as well as we speak her beautiful name. You know what she told us while she was still alive? She's like, don't do it online. Don't do it on. But she did die several years ago. So I've actually asked Joanna the healer, our favorite, can you tap into Dolores' spirit and ask, is it okay to do it online? So I have that guilt. A lot of QHHT practitioners do it online.
Yeah.
I'm carrying the guilt from Dolores teaching us never to do it online. I have done it online. I have some guilt. I was raised Catholic. I'm no longer Catholic, but I have guilt issues. So you might want to pick my brain on that too if you want.
That's 3 other episodes, baby.
Yeah.
That's a whole other podcast. But yeah, was that
we
an
don't
answer?
talk about religious trauma over here.
Never.
Okay.
Ever.
Okay.
I'm joking very much. Every
Yes.
episode we talk about religious
That's all.
I'm gonna
That's
throw
all
out
it is.
also-
That's all it is. Yes.
Dolores was an Aries as well. We're in Aries season, but go ahead.
Yes. Oh my gosh, you're right. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I do feel Dolores is okay with us doing it. And I have done many sessions online. In person, it's great. You need a home, like you need a studio in your house or in an office space.
Right.
I haven't taken my business to that level, but I do love those. And I've been a client as well. So I'm a practitioner. I've done many regressions for people. A lot of times it's parallel lives. It's not a past life. A lot of times it is a past life. A lot of times you go to the void. Have you heard about the void? If you're obsessed with past life or not near-death experiences like I am, I love listening to
Mm-hmm.
A lot of near-death experiencers go to the black void. And so a lot of people in my QHHT sessions go to the void. So that's interesting.
Absolutely.
That's
Been there, done
interesting,
that.
right?
That
It's
is
very interesting.
Isn't that interesting? So yeah, I've done lots in person. I've done a few online. I feel like Dolores is okay with it. Maybe I've answered your question in a convoluted way, as Dolores would say.
I think maybe with her generation, maybe she didn't think that it was a good thing, but now she sees the bigger picture and sees how many people you can reach in that, with that avenue of doing things.
I think so. That's the answer Joanna gave me too.
Yeah.
And just especially after the pandemic, how much more comfort there is on both sides of the microphone. There were so many of us that were comfortable,
right?
Like you were in corporate having virtual meetings, but your normal average everyday Joe probably wasn't as comfortable with that the way they are now. Like it's become so mainstream and broad stream that there's a comfort level now that 5 years ago, collectively, we didn't have.
Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. And
okay,
I mean,
Dolores, are you hearing us?
Right?
Are we convincing you, sweet Dolores?
Come on.
She's right here in the room.
Yeah.
I feel her too.
Yeah.
You feel her too? Yeah, I feel her like presence.
No,
of course you do.
That's so nice.
Excellent.
So we could go down the QHHT rabbit hole. And I actually would like to have you back to talk about just
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you about my past lives that I've seen.
Yeah, that
I've been a client as well. So like I'm a practitioner, but then I've also been a client about 3 or 4 times. And my stories are like a podcast as well, just what I've seen and where I've gone.
I love it. I think
that.
Yeah, we're going to do that some other time. But we're here to talk about astrology. So let's get back on track, folks.
Yeah, come on.
Squirrel. So we have all had readings with you, which have been so good. Mm-hmm. So I feel like I would like for somebody here in the group to share their experience. And then let's talk about astrology and where we are currently too.
Ooh, can I go first?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this is Chandra. And so in my reading, Jenny waited until the very end of the reading and she says, I saved this for last because I wasn't sure how you were going to take it.
Oh, just saying it's 111.
Of course it is. Of course it is. And I wanted to make sure that you were open to this or to gauge like how you were going to take this. She's like, but girl, you are psychic. And my heart fell into my stomach. She's like, your Pluto is 29 degrees. That's the psychic degrees. It's in Virgo. That's the pure human. Like you are the psychic of psychics. And I'm like, do you know what I have struggled with my whole entire life? My intuition. It's like the one thing that I've wanted to learn more about and grow into that has eluded me. And so we had this conversation, and her tarot reading that she did at the very end of her astrology reading was like, Chandra, just sit here and let me tell you about yourself. You haven't been ready. You haven't been ready. You haven't been ready. You're getting ready. It's here. Embrace it. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not ready. Am I ready? So long story short, her reading was like a permission slip for me. And so I've been asking Spirit if during this next 3-month period, that's really what I'm supposed to lean into, make it as easy and painless as possible. Show me the next steps, lead me there. Whatever needs to happen, let's let it happen in the most painless, easy process as possible.
Gentle lessons.
Gentle lessons, please. And so my ADHD brain relates everything to a song lyric or a quote from a movie or whatever. And every time I see Jenny's beautiful face on social media, the first thing I hear is Jenny with the good hair. Because she's so beautiful. She's just the flowing locks. I just figured that was just like going to be my little like internal click when I see Jenny. And that's been going on for 3 months, ever since we've met you and had the readings. But last night, it felt like every 15 or 20 minutes, I was waking up with Spirit screaming at me, Jenny with the good hair. And I'm like, yes, I know we have the thing tomorrow. Yes, I know we have the interview. I'm going to re-listen to my reading in the morning. I'm going to be ready. I'm going to do my research. We'll be ready for the reading. Just thank you for reminding me. Let's sleep. 15 minutes later, Jenny with the good hair. I'm like, okay, yes, I know. I love her. She's beautiful. I will be there tomorrow. We're going to do the thing. And so finally it registered with me. This is a Spirit message. And I finally said, okay, Spirit, I get it. Jenny with the good hair. She's beautiful. I'll look up that reference in the morning and I'll do some research and I'll figure out what you're trying to tell me when it's like daylight. And we'll go from there. And I looked it up online and the quote is not actually Jenny with the good hair. It's Becky with the good hair.
Right. Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, but specific to her, I hope I don't offend, but I'll just ask her about it. And so I did, before we started recording, I did ask her about it. But so Jenny, can you share what you told me? Because I was like, oh my God,
It's
there's so much
unreal.
validation.
It is. Yeah. So I love that you're putting this toward your Pluto 29 degree. And that's an educational piece right there. Anyone with a 29 degree, especially on Pluto, has the psychic gift. And so, yes, did you pick up on something about me personally that nobody knows? I haven't said it on my Instagrams or anything like that. But when I was in high school, I was using the loo, if you will, and these mean girls came in and they started talking about me. And so naturally, instead of jolting out and saying, hey, girls, you got something you want to say to me? No, I hid. I pulled up my feet so no one could see that I was there. And then they proceeded to talk about me. And they said, that Jenny Schafer, you know her? And they're all like, yeah, I know her. She's nothing. You hear me? Nothing without that hair. So I was like, oh my God. So then after they left the bathroom, I ran. I told my friends, I'm like, oh my God, guess what they just said? And then we were laughing hysterically. We thought it was hilarious. And then still to this day, I graduated high school in the 90s. We're talking 30 years ago, folks. Like my friends from high school still say, oh, here she's come, the one with the good hair. It's like they want to make T-shirts about Jenny with the hair. So it's like a thing. Like it's a thing about me. And you picked up on that, Miss Psychic.
I'd have walked out of that stall like, oh my gosh, they love my hair.
Yeah. Yeah. It was 30 years ago. And now I'd be like, this old thing right here. Yeah. I've grown in my self-worth. But back in the 90s, the self-worth was not oozing out of my every pore.
Yeah.
Totally get it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I love that little psychic connection. That was a great little starter.
It's such a nod from spirit because it's something that nobody knows, right? It's like,
and I felt like what you told me was a permission slip. And then for like my first like really big like psychic hit to be from you with you is, I feel like that's pretty special. So I appreciate you being vulnerable and sharing that with us because it was a huge validation for me.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Camille.
No, I was going to start asking astrology stuff.
Oh, I just wanted to remind Jenny, I'm looking at my reading, the notes. And so my birthday is coming up. But Jenny,
shameful plug. Thank you.
Exactly.
Send gifts.
Send
32
gifts.
again. Gotcha.
Yeah, 32 plus.
Venmo account is whatever.
Exactly. But you were talking about my manifestation hour being between 4 and 5 on my upcoming solar return, but it's the day before my birthday, which is the 15th. But it's in this particular, it's 10:54 p.m.
Yeah.
But then it says that I have a rare kite formation indicating extreme talent.
Yes.
Is that like coincide with the manifestation hour?
Oh, yes. I love that you're bringing up a solar return. This is such a teachable moment for the listeners. For those people that want to learn a little bit more about their chart and say you're a little bit about astrology, you can easily pull up a solar return chart for free on like astro.com. That's one of my favorite free resources. And so every single year, the sun meets the sun. So when you were born, your sun was at a particular degree in a particular sign. And so the sun returns to that exact degree every single year. Therefore, you get a new birth chart every year. You are reborn every single year. And so you get a solar return chart. And then that's your birth chart for the year. So of course, you always follow your natal birth chart that you were born with. But as each year progresses, you are reborn with new energy. And so in your particular, this year for you, this solar return year for you has a kite formation. It's very rare to see that, whether it's on a natal birth chart or if you're looking at a particular lunation or something. It's very rare to see a kite formation. And a kite formation has a lot of trines. It does have an opposition, but has a lot of trines, meaning extreme talent. You've got lots of gifts this year. And so embrace that. I'm sure I gave you that advice, but also it gives you an hour. There's an hour. There's an exact moment when the sun hits the sun. And so that hour is your magic manifestation hour. And I advise you, even if it's 3 a.m, set the alarm. That's the magic manifestation hour for your rebirth every year. And so to go into that hour of manifestation, doing something you enjoy, right? Whatever it is, meditation, walking, I don't know, anything, dancing, to raise your vibration in that hour, because a lot of people don't know this. And so say they're out in traffic and they're honking and they're telling off people. So that vibe that you're carrying in that magical manifestation hour, that vibe is going to come forth, follow you for your year ahead. So I'm so glad that you have written down the time. And I know you're going to embrace all your gifts this year. I know you've been coming into a lot of your gifts as well. And it's going to be a year of gifts for you.
Mm-hmm. Fun.
I'm going to need me one of them years, please.
I'm going to need a decade.
And instead of looking it up online, you can just get a reading from Jenny.
Yeah, I do.
Please go get a reading.
I always show you your solar return when you do an astrology reading for me. And just to clarify, I always look at the year before just to be like, oh, so this is what last year was all about for you. Hey, so I'm Canadian. I'm just saying it now. I say it a lot. Mm-hmm.
Well, I will say I am the most astrologically challenged in our group. I'm curious about astrology and it fascinates me, but it's like a foreign language to me. It's like chess. It's like there's too many things that overlap. There's too many different things that influence other things.
You want to flip the board and just run.
I just want to flip the board and run. I can't. It doesn't really compute easily or innately for me. But the reading I will say the reading that I had with Jenny, she broke it down into, not even that she broke it down, just the way she comes across in the reading. Mm-hmm. It was perfectly understandable.
Interpreter.
She interprets it flawlessly for us who are astrologically challenged. So if you've ever shied away from it, I know I could probably learn a lot, but I'm just not going to get it because I don't understand it. Then Jenny's the chick you need because she will help you understand it.
Yeah. I think people are tired of me saying, please call Jenny, please call Jenny, please call Jenny.
Get your shit together. Call Jenny.
Exactly.
Please.
Learn something about yourself and call Jenny.
Oh, ladies.
With the good hair.
I'm blushing. I got good hair. I can explain the things. Come on.
If your number is 867-5309, I'm going to lose
it. All right. What you got, Cam?
Okay. So I want to know about general planetary conditions, because by the time this episode airs, it will probably be, I'm guessing, mid to late May. And I do know that Saturn is going to be doing some crazy stuff, I believe, in Aries around May 24th. What can the collective expect from that, Jenny?
Okay. We're going there, are we, ladies?
Yeah, let's go there.
We there.
That's what we're doing. Okay. So I'll start this whole chat by saying there are 5 outer planets, 5. And how many of them are changing into different signs in 2025? 4.
Oh, Jesus.
4. And the fifth one, Pluto, the one we were just speaking of, just did it. So just at the very tail end of 2024. So it started the whole darn thing, right? Pluto started the trend. And shall we talk about Pluto for a hot minute? That's death, rebirth. That is transformation. They call it Hades. They call it the god of the underworld. Pluto was going through Capricorn, and I just give so much compassion to all the Capricorns out there, people with strong Capricorn, sun, moon, stellium, rising. You survived, Capricorn. You survived. So now Pluto just went into Aquarius. It started this whole trend, and this is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. So we were speaking about music. We all know that song, and it really is changing the world, right? And now the other outer planets are following suit. And so this has never happened in the history. Maybe it has, like we're talking tens of thousands of years ago, maybe, but us astrologers cannot find another time in history when the 4 outer planets are changing signs the same year.
Jeez.
Okay.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
This is it.
Yep.
Okay. So what does that mean? Okay. Just look at the year 2025. It equals 9. 2 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9, right? And 9
exactly what I was thinking.
Is end. It's the end. So this is not at all a fear-based statement that I'm making. It's begging you. It's urging you. It is demanding you to change this year. Anyone felt that energy?
Yeah.
Just a wee tad.
Yes. Every day.
Every damn day. Okay.
Mhm.
Every damn day. And so we got to change. And so it's so funny you bring up the hair thing, because it's like, for me, like a common thread of healing throughout my life has been mean girl drama that I need to take responsibility for. I need to stop telling the victim stories. And let me tell you, I got stories, right? But I'm done telling them. And the hair one, come on, we got to retell that one. That one's
It was
fabulous.
relevant.
So relevant.
Now you've met the 4 nice girls who think you are the shiznit.
Oh, see? This is what I needed to change. You got to get all that gunk out. The programming, right? We've got to unlearn. This year is about unlearning, and I've got to unlearn that I am worthy. Like, I'm not going to be pulling up my feet, going pee in the room anymore. I am not going to hide from the mean girls anymore. And if they want to observe my fantastic hair, so be it. And if they
Let them, as Mel Robbins would say, let them.
Thank you, Mel. Thank you, Mel.
Yeah.
It's the year to kick that stall open and be like, look, bitch.
That's exactly what this is. Thank you for bringing that in. Thank you for and I've been dreaming that. I've been dreaming like I'm finally standing up to the mean girls. It's not just those gals in the bathroom, by the way. It's like years and years. And so it's like, that is what all of us are doing in 2025. We're all unlearning what was sizzled in to our programs, into our subconscious. We're all unlearning it so that we can open up the door. And now I've met the woo crew. It's like, what? And we are doing grid work. We've discussed this before on other occasions. It's just, the world is open to all of us if we're willing to do this hard, deep, subconscious shadow work. And so all of us are being called to do this. And it's so amazing that you picked up the funny hair story, because for me, it's those stories of not feeling worthy. For me, that's what it is for me. Anyone else in the crew here?
But,
yeah.
But not to harp on this, but isn't it funny how the fact that they were giving you a compliment is what was triggering your unworthiness? They were talking about how great your hair is, for God's sake.
Right.
How do we as humans allow that to like negate? Like, we can take a compliment and make it our biggest trauma. How does that happen?
Right.
How can we allow that to happen?
Wow. I love that. That is deep. I love that.
Because we are
Another
so
thing
much
for me
more
to
under
work
the
through.
hair.
Thank you. So anywho, 2025 is demanding. And I always say the planets are our spirit guides. You can or cannot believe that. I really don't. We were talking before we started recording as well that I was raised Catholic. I'm no longer Catholic. So oftentimes I'll know people. I just ran into some of my kids' moms, and I've known them for 2 years, and they had absolutely no idea that I do what I do. Because I don't preach, because I was raised in a religion that did not work for me. So I don't talk about this stuff when I'm out and about in the world. And so that might change too, right? I might be changing that this year.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the next step is
That
to
might be my next
fully,
step too.
yeah, fully step into your true identity
so.
and stop hiding behind the religious trauma.
Step
Chiron's
into
in
your power.
Aries. So Chiron is in Aries right now. And I have Chiron in Aries. And when you have that natally, it's all about those identity. Yeah, it's like,
Yep.
so it can show up like the way we look, but it's like our identity. We're wounded in our identity. And it's like, I'm no longer going to be wounded in who I actually am. So that's another one for me to work through. And I'm getting there. I'm not like healed. I'm doing the work as I continue to do this work. So anyways, I went on a bit of a rant there. 2025 equals 9. 9 is all about change. And so I don't mean to sound fear-based. It's not like the world is ending in 2025. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the way we were, our old patterns, it's dying this year.
Mm-hmm.
And we're being urged strongly by the planets to let all the old stories die, right? And Pluto started it in the late 2024, the first of the 5 outer planets. The second was Neptune went into Aries on March 30th, right after the eclipse. The eclipse happened on March 29th, and then Neptune went into Aries the next day. And so we're still in this energy. We're still in this energy as we record this podcast. Like it's been a lot of energy for all of us to process. And Neptune going into Aries does suggest spiritual awakenings on steroids. For those of us that are listening to this podcast, well, we're on the path. And so for those of us highly sensitive beings, empaths, whatever you want to label us, we are being opened to more and more spiritual gifts. It's happening as we speak. That's exactly what Neptune into Aries is doing for all of us. For others who are not listening to podcasts like this and have zero interest in topics like this, they're also on the same path that we are, and it might be very jarring. And I'm predicting, unfortunately, mental health crisis. So again, don't mean to sound fear-based, but that's what this particular transit is jolting us awake. Have you seen that in your circles at all, ladies?
I feel like that just about every day, like I'm on the brink of a mental health crisis.
Yeah, that's your moon in Aries, girl.
Okay.
Yeah, especially the last week. The last week has been like, whew, I'm going to keep it together.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it together. I'm going to keep it together. I'm going to keep it together.
Not today, Satan. You're not going to win. I'm going to keep it together.
I'm going to keep it together. Thank you, Neptune and Aries. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Let me ask you this, Jenny. So if Neptune just left Pisces, which is its ruler, aren't a lot of people with Neptune and Aries about to be just shaken by the roots out of addictions and out of dependencies and out of a dreamlike state into a new reality?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, so you're right. Neptune is ruled by Pisces. And so in many ways, that's its home, right?
Right.
But for so many people, it's about a 14-year transit usually, Neptune, going through any sign. So it loves being there. So for a lot of people, it shows up as like brain fog, addictions, like dreamy, like I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I don't know how to get through a day. It's very confusing, right?
And the need for comfort.
Oh, comfort food, drinking too much, smoking, like Neptune in Pisces loves that. So then Neptune goes into Aries. What'd you say?
I said that's one planet I don't have in Aries is Neptune. I was just looking at my chart and I said,
you mean the one planet, you know?
the one planet I don't have is Neptune. It's in Scorpio.
Yeah. I love that. Yeah. So us Aries folk, like I am too, not quite as much as you, Lynn, but I have a lot in Aries too. So massive awakenings, like massive wake up. Once it's in Aries, Aries energy is like life force energy. It is the baby of the zodiac. It's that 0 degree mark. That's where it is, right? Neptune is at 0 degrees area. That's that creator mark. That is like the world began mark. That is creation mark, right? And so that's where it is right now. And we're all feeling it. And if we're open to this, if we're open to the planets being our spirit guides, I would advise all of you to meditate if you can. If you can't meditate sitting down, then on a walk when you're out in nature, asking for the guidance. What is the creator mark for me? What is the rebirth mark for me? And just having that energy to do it. And Aries has energy, right? Pisces and Neptune is just like sleeping. Us Aries people, it's not great for us because we're moving.
And earlier when you mentioned that a lot of people would be experiencing mental issues and things like that, is it because that Aries energy moves so fast and is on the go that people don't know if they're coming or going or sitting or standing? Or can you go into that a little bit more as far as what to expect?
Yeah, there's that, but it's also because Pisces is so delusional. Pisces it's just dreamy. It's like the other world. It's like Aries is grounded, like it's not an earth sign, but Aries wants to get shit done. People with strong Aries, like Lynn and I both have, like, we came here to do things. Pisces doesn't really need to do anything. It's like sincerely the human being. All you need to do is be, right? And in its highest vibe, it's beautiful energy. But for a lot of people, it's very confusing. And what do you mean just be? Oh, I got to pay bills. Aries does the shit. sorry, did I not, was I not supposed to say that?
You're allowed.
Yeah, I'm allowed. So it's that. It's, oh, I have to do things. I actually have to. Okay, so I found out I'm psychic from my astrology reading. Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah, it does resonate. You're right. Now I have to do something about this. What am I going to do? Am I going to write a book? Am I going to do the thing? Make the decision. And people have been in the energy of Pisces being in, or Neptune being in Pisces, just like, oh, I'll do it later.
Yeah.
Pisces loves that. Yeah, later.
Or I'll dream about it for a few years and
I'll
make
just
some
dream.
notes. So what about when Saturn joins Aries
Saturn
in late May?
Aries. Okay. Saturn and Aries.
Thank you,
May
Cam.
24th.
I'm a Virgo. I'm a realist. Go
I know
ahead.
you are.
I know. I love that. I love it. Saturn goes into Aries. So so I was just saying there's 5 outer planets. 4 of them are changing signs in 2025. 2 of those 4 are actually going into Aries. So it's so interesting, right? That's the creator. That's exactly what I've been saying. This is like rebirth. This is spring equinox is always the new year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Don't make your New Year's resolutions on January 1st. Make them at the spring equinox. That's the new year. That is the creator mark. That is when everything begins. That's when you plant the seeds so that you can find the harvest later. So 2 of these outer planets are going into Aries. Like, what? It is a little bit crazy in many ways. And so for us Aries folks, definitely speak up, Lynn. Like, Aries people are decisive. And if we're not, then we are immature and we are childish. But at our best, we are childlike and we are doing the damn thing. We're taking the leap. It's like the Fool card in the tarot. Take the leap, decide later, think about it later, do the thing. And so these planets are urging us to get out of the dreamy world of indecisive, I don't know what to do, and just do the damn thing. So Neptune and Saturn are both urging in that. So Neptune is very spiritual gifts we were just talking about. Saturn sizzles it in. I always say when I'm reading a birth chart, if you master Saturn in your birth chart, then you will master your life. So Saturn rules time, structure, rules. Super boring, right? Super boring. And it's the hard work ethic, right? But if you do it, if you do the damn thing, Saturn is going to say, yes, that's exactly what I was trying to teach you. So you've got these 2 coming together in Aries, Neptune, extremely spiritual, otherworldly. And then we've got Saturn saying, you've got to do the damn thing and make the decision. How does that resonate for you, Lynn? Because I know you're like a hardcore Aries woman.
I'm usually pretty decisive unless I'm hungry.
Amen. And can I get an A woman?
If I get hungry, all bets are off.
Yeah.
As my friends can attest.
Yeah.
But I was just talking to you and Joanna a couple of days ago, and I couldn't get the saying right in my head because I had to get back in my body. It took me a minute. But I'm the one who's out of the frying pan into the fire. Like, I will literally leap.
Yeah.
And consequences be damned.
Ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Yes.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one.
Is it a good one?
So,
And I'm the one that asks for forgiveness and then tries to leap.
oh, I know. Us Aries,
here we go.
We're all being urged strongly by this Neptune going into Aries and this Saturn going into Aries. They're the first 2 of the 4 moving this year. So the first 2 huge leaps are from Neptune and Saturn going into Aries. So we're all learning to embrace this Aries energy. We just had the North Node in Aries, like the last 2 years. So we've all been getting the training from the universe to be Aries. What does that mean? It means to be childlike, not childish, childlike. Take the leap, do the damn thing, make the decision, and just do it. Get up in the morning and do it, right? So we've all been trained to start being like an Aries, be an entrepreneur, be the hero of your own story. That is Aries at its finest. Be a pioneer, be a leader. Okay, we've all been encouraged to be like this. And now with these 2 planets entering Aries, March 30th, Neptune into Aries, May 24th, Saturn into Aries. It's okay. So when the North Node was in Aries, those last 2 years, and now these two planets creating whole new era energy. Are you ready to be like an Aries? Because you better be.
I'm ready.
I'm here for it.
No shit, Lynn.
I'm ready. Where's the high dive? I'll jump right off of it.
See, we were born for this, Lynn. People with strong Aries, we were born for this.
That's a good thing.
So can we talk about placement for a little bit? Because like people who don't know anything about astrology as far as the big three, sun, moon, and rising, and just maybe touch a little bit on the different aspects of how that sign affects who you are, the big three.
The big three, I've actually wrote a book on that too. When you know your big three, it covers the basics of who you are. If you are into astrology and you want to just for fun read your friends and family, look for the big three. That does cover the basics. It really does. You don't need to know about like transits, and you don't need to know about the different aspects. If you just know that your sun is your soul, it is your life force energy. It is I can't get out of bed in the morning. All you have to do is go to what your sun is telling you to do. So an Aries sun person, if you are having depression as an Aries sun person, you get up and you exercise. Like it's stuff like that. Those are the kind of things you can get from your sun. Your sun will tell you how to keep going, right? Your moon is your emotions. It is your happiness, right? It is your emotional intelligence. So you can learn so much from your moon sign. And then whenever there's a moon return, you can start getting fancy once you start learning astrology. But for the basics, you need to know what is your emotional language. You look to your moon. And then your rising is like your cosmic business card, right? It's like how you show up in the world. It's how you go to work. It's how you do the meeting. It's how you talk on the podcast. But it's also like how you show up with the strangers at the grocery store, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it does cover the basics when you know the sun, moon, rising.
I have a book title for you. When you know your big three, you know who you be.
Oh, write it. I love it.
No, I shouldn't write it. You should write it.
Okay. Gotcha.
And I would, buy all of Jenny's books.
I think you have all of them.
I do have all of them.
So say I'm Libra rising. Well, I have an Aries moon.
Amazing.
So how does that interact between Lynn and I? She also has an Aries moon. How does that affect one another?
Aries moon people, first and foremost, you need to be a hero. So I love that about you.
We can't both be the hero, honey.
We can fight over it.
I'll buy a ticket.
I love it. Yeah. Aries moon people, you'll often see they're the firefighters. They're the foster moms. Like they save the babies. They save the animals. Like for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Aries moon people.
As we have a room full of dogs.
You have the same emotional body. You have the same emotional needs. So it makes a lot of sense. In synastry charts, if you're like, oh, I really like this guy or whoever you're dating, if you have the sun and the moon, like an Aries sun and with an Aries moon, that's like king and queen energy together. That's holy moly.
I have that.
I see a lot of that in families too. Like the mother will be a Cancer and will have a child with a Cancer moon, or
very much
parallels.
Or it's the rising sign. I see that a lot with mother-daughters. It's the rising sign, shockingly enough. I love that.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I should say, I just had a thought back to how I was talking about us Aries people. Like we were born for this time. All of us were born for this time. So what you would do if you want to get a little bit fancy with your astrology is you look where Aries is in your natal birth chart, because that's where you're being called to wake the F up. That's where you're being called to make the decision, go do the damn thing. Spiritually, use your gifts here. It's the house placement of wherever Aries is for you. In regards to these two transits, the Neptune going into Aries on March 30th, and then Saturn going into Aries on May 24th. We can also look at the history.
It's in my house of health. Damn it. Damn it.
We can also look at the history of these, ladies. Are you interested in that? Because that's something mundane. Mundane is the word not for meaning boring, but it means worldwide astrology. There's a lot of great YouTubers out there that do mundane astrology only. They don't do personalized. And so what they do, what mundane astrologers do, is they look at like the patterns. So what happened last time
Right.
Neptune was in Aries? What happened last time Saturn was in Aries? And I do have some information about that. Last time Neptune was in Aries, it was 1861 to 1875. Guess what happened then, ladies? The American Civil War.
Yep.
Oh, you all
Okay.
comfortable up there in Canada, aren't you?
No. We're
Just
not
kidding.
going there. Okay, that's not what this podcast is about.
Just
Please
kidding.
build tiny houses in your backyard. But anyway, go ahead.
I'm just saying, you look at the patterns. Last time Saturn went into Aries, that was April 1996 to June 1998. So that was the rise of the internet. Funny enough, it was also the cloning of Dolly the sheep.
Oh.
Do we remember that?
Yes.
And
I do.
I also had 2 children between 96 and 98.
Yes.
Mm.
Big time, big
Little
changes for
clones.
me. Big changes for me in that year too. The Rwanda genocide happened then. The Asian financial crisis of 1997, and then Hurricane Mitch in 1998 in the Atlantic. So you look at those patterns. Now, it's not, mundane astrologers do not say the exact same thing is going to happen. And in fact, when Neptune went into Aries last time in 1861, it was literally within the hour that the American Civil War started. Neptune has gone into Aries. It didn't happen, right? So it shows up perhaps similar themes, but differently. And I think we can all see.
But then that's the beauty of looking at patterns, is so you don't repeat.
Isn't
Hopefully.
it though?
Yeah.
Isn't it though?
You learn about the energy and how to assimilate it and not repeat it.
Right. Yeah.
A different
Rise
kind of
above the war energy.
Revolution.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause
We did have all the
this
proteins.
next one, Jupiter, the Uranus in Gemini happens July 7th. And this is the one that mundane astrologers are like, oh, holy moly. This Uranus in Gemini, July 7th, right? I skipped over, we will go over Jupiter in Cancer June 9th. I will go back to that. But this Uranus into Gemini on July 7th. So that's very close to your Independence Day. Last time Uranus was in Gemini was 1941 to 1949. And World War II happened between 39 and 45, right? The Pearl Harbor attack happened during that time. The atomic bomb development happened during that time. The Cold War happened in 46. So a lot of war energy happened the last time Uranus was in Gemini. And that's why a lot of mundane astrologers are like, hold yourself in July, right? People are, even if you watch psychics on YouTube that know nothing about astrology, they're all like, something's happening in July. Like, people are picking up on July. Okay. So I'm not at all that person out there saying war is going to happen, because I refuse war. I refuse war,
Good
right?
for you. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to go to the energy of war. So I would encourage everyone to think about that as well. Are we going to refuse war this time around?
And when you decide yourself to look at it from, okay, I'm looking at it from this level of view. Okay, can I go up 30,000 feet? Can I look at it from a different level? Look at how much innovation happened during that period. Can we flip it this time so that we just focus on the amount of innovation that can happen during that period versus, like you said, reject the anger and the war part, and just, can we have the perspective of, this is a time of innovation. This is a time of rapid learning and growth, because that's also a possibility from where we sit right now. We just have to embrace it.
It's so beautiful you say that. And back to the beginning of this podcast, when I said Pluto started this whole party by going into Aquarius. Pluto into Aquarius literally translates, as an astrologer, literally translates to power to the people. Okay. Good. That's literally what Pluto in Aquarius means. Power to the people. So we have more power than we know. We've got to remember that. That's why we're having this great unlearning, this great deprogramming. That's why we're all being encouraged by the planets to remember who we truly are. We're not that person that is available for bullying. whatever your stories are. We are no longer, that isn't our identity anymore. So I love that you brought that up, because this is the great year of unlearning and reprogramming ourselves.
I'm here for it.
Same.
Aren't we supposed to grow by leaps and bounds when it comes to things like AI and technology and robotics? And
yes, we are. And
excellent.
It's available for us in that way.
Wonderful.
Well, Jenny, this has been a delightful conversation.
Yes.
I'm sure that we could talk for hours and hours, which would be fun. I'd be here for it. But can you tell people how to get in touch with you? And of course, we will put these in the show notes for anybody who's listening and wants to go ahead and book their appointment with Jenny, because we all highly recommend, because we've all experienced it and it's been very helpful in our lives. So how can they find you, Jenny?
Oh, thank you so much, ladies. Yes, you can find me on social media handles at Jenny's Next Chapter. That's on YouTube. That's on Instagram. I'm on Facebook too, but barely. I do have an account there, but I'm refusing the Facebooks these days. Or you can give me an email. You'll see that my email is available on all of those social media handles as well. And I would love to hear from you. And thank you so much, ladies, not only for this conversation, but for recommending me so highly. I loved reading your charts.
Do you hereby commit to a part 2 of this episode and maybe even a part 3?
Yes, I do hereby commit to that, my ladies.
Not that we would put you on the spot or anything.
Right. It's recorded. We're good. We're good.
We're good.
Yeah, we didn't even get into the Jupiter in Cancer. That's a fun one too. And there's so much. I always do say I could talk about astrology all damn day. So absolutely. Yay. Part 2, part 3, and onward.
Excellent.
Yes, yay.
Thank you so much. And thank you for everybody listening. Reach out to Jenny if you're interested in learning more about your chart, which I think, why wouldn't you be?
Don't be foolish. Just do it.
Just do it. All right. Much love, everybody. Take care, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Bye.
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 Thank you for joining us today. Please follow and subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and leave a review. It's so easy to do and such a huge help for us. We appreciate your interactions so much. Want to join us at our table? Make sure to check out our YouTube channel and join our Facebook community. If you've enjoyed this content and wish to support us, take a look at our Patreon page. All information and links will be in our podcast description. Catch you next time.
This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM. Women's voices amplified.